Kamara, he looks to have the physicality, but does he have the mentality to play at this higher level? We'll see.
Well, some will shudder that it was the best part of 23 years ago that these two were dominating the domestic cup scene, and they met in both the League and FA Cup finals. The landscape's very different now, particularly for Sheffield Wednesday. But this meeting tonight, with a place of the last 8 of the Capital One Cup up for grabs, really does turn back the clock. A taste of the big time for Sheffield Wednesday, something that their fans will feel that they have been away from for far too long. Scott, the referee here at Hillsborough tonight, and the home side get us underway. Header from Debussy. Both sides coming into this with pretty good form in their sails. Sheffield Wednesday unbeaten in 8. They had a pretty shaky start to the season, but they are moving up the Sky Bet Championship table. Arsenal winning their last 4 games, including 7 days ago, that excellent win which kept their European hopes alive in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. Oxlade-Chamberlain in that central role. He has, when playing there, excelled in the past. It's a little off target as he sought out Joe Campbell on this near side.
Sheffield Wednesday do have to be careful. They've got lots of attacking midfielders tonight, and they will flood forward. But if they lose the ball, and Arsenal can switch it quickly, get it into the feet of Oxlade-Chamberlain, he will have time and space to run at that Wednesday defence. So when Wednesday are in possession, they have to try and shut the door defensively.
Wallace making the surge behind, but one of the more comfortable pieces of work that Petr Cech will have to do. His first involvement in the Capital One Cup since he was part of the Chelsea side that won the final last season. Effectively, in terms of selection, Arsene Wenger has picked the same side that he picked for the last round in Spurs. Obviously, injuries to Aaron Ramsey and Mikel Arteta in terms of the outfield players means he couldn't select those. That's why the 2 debutants get their chance here. And David Ospina injured, so #1 goalkeeper Petr Cech is pressed into action.
Well, one thing Arsenal couldn't do is take this game for granted. There's good pressure from Wednesday early on here, winning the ball back high up the field.
There's Lucas João. Banner. João, strong physical presence up front for Sheffield Wednesday.
We're going to have to watch out for this evening. Oxlade-Chamberlain turning and trying to play, being closed down by Sam Hutchinson. He just sits in front of the Wednesday back 4. Does Wednesday go forward? He'll be the one allocated just to pick up Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Kieran Lee and put the pressure on him. Away by Tom Lee. He's one of the few ever presents in this Sheffield Wednesday side.
Yeah, Oxlade-Chamberlain just had a word with the bench as he ran the ball out of play there. Just wonder whether he's okay to carry on. Came off against Everton, looked very tired, and I just wonder it's been difficult for him recently just to get back up to match speed, and he can't take any risk with a player of his quality.
It's been a stop and start season for him, hasn't it, in terms of getting a run in the side, and this evening is about to come to a premature halt for him. Desperate luck. So inside the first 4 minutes, Theo Walcott needs to get himself ready.
It's hard to really tell where the injury occurred. The ball was played into his feet. He just twisted, turned away. Did he maybe tweak something as he tried to get away from Hutchinson as he ran the ball out of play?
Walcott stripped and ready, as you can see there. Arsene Wenger wants to get the change made quickly. Return to the ground that he has played on before when he was at Southampton in League One. Leaves the field here in very unhappy circumstances. It's desperate. You really feel for him.
Well, it's a nightmare for Oxlade-Chamberlain, but this is why you have to have some of your big guns on the bench just in case this type of things happen. And it's not a bad substitution to be able to make, sending on Theo Walcott.
It'll be interesting to see whether there's a little bit of a reshuffle here in terms of the way they line up. It looks like Theo Walcott is going to come across and at least start out on the right-hand side. Campbell taking up a more central position immediately.
Yeah, there might be a bit of flexibility with Walcott and Campbell and Iwobi possibly chopping and changing positions, but Walcott's come on and is definitely playing down the right-hand side.
Stretch of the legs for Walcott up against Lubens. Away by Wildsmith. Really test of his composure here. Chambers, Flamini, the hero for Arsenal at White Hart Lane in the last round.
Well, defensively, Wednesday have to get to grips with that Arsenal change now with Theo Walcott. They've got that pace to run in behind them. They probably didn't have it just with Giroud up there.
Barry Banner has been playing in something of a wider role when he's been used in championship matches for Sheffield Wednesday, but he's playing more centrally here. Bannon. Chambers should be able to clear this one up. Hutchinson getting himself in the way against Giroud, frustrating the Frenchman. Highly combative midfielder, the most booked player at this stage of the season in any of the top 4 leagues of English football, Sam Hutchinson. Arsenal free kick, so let's get an update from David Craig, our touchline reporter, on the injury to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yes, we understand that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain told the physios he felt a tightness in his hamstring, so it's a precautionary substitution by Arsene Wenger, sending on Theo Walcott, so a precautionary substitution for a tightening of the hamstring.
Well, let's hope that won't see him out for too long then. Here's Flamini. To patrol against Walcott.
Well, with Theo Walcott coming on down this right-hand side, Daniel Pudel has a bigger problem to actually deal with now. It's very important Glenn Lubens, the centre-half closest to him, is round on the cover, because if that ball is put over the top of the left-back as a centre-half, you have to at times just step across and clear out the danger.
Mertesacker. This is the 19-year-old debutant Glenn Kamara back here at Chambers. Flamini. Campbell, time to turn. There's plenty of movement ahead of him. Gibbs. Flamini, Arsenal edging their way up the Hillsborough turf. Broken up by Pudel.
That's good discipline from Sheffield Wednesday, good concentration as well. You're up against a The top Premier League side here will be patient in possession. It's vitally important that Carlos Carvajal's team are well organised, good communication needed.
Very popular figure in the first season in English football, Carlos Carvajal. Glowing reports from the Sheffield Wednesday players about his management style. He's actually on the same course in terms of qualifications, getting his badges out in Portugal as Jose Mourinho. They are friends. Flamini. Giroud has drifted offside. Walcott was level with him had he been able to time his run.
I talked about Wednesday having good defensive discipline. It's going to be a slightly tight call. Does Daniel Pudel drop in? It is very tight. I think Walcott is offside. I'm not so sure about Giroud. Louvens and Tom Lees, they really have to marshal that back four, make sure absolutely everyone is in a straight line.
Sheffield Wednesday 9th in the Championship now, despite their recent good run. It's their best run in terms of results for 18 months. Arsenal has 4 successive wins in all competitions. Only goal difference keeping them off the top of the Premier League. Walcott. Pudel didn't get that quite right, but bites back at Theo Walcott. And Flamini going for the same ball. Kieran Lee stabbed away by Hutchinson. Shah putting the pressure on Chambers. In comes Allan. Looked to have been upended there by Mathieu Debuchy. The referee Graham Scott didn't see anything wrong though. Lee coming forward. And Kamara showing that he will give as good as he gets there in the midfield battle.
Well, we expect an open attacking game with 2 good footballing sides here, but clearly it's going to be very competitive too.
Gibbs. 20th season in which he has set out on the road to Wembley in the League Cup in its various guises. Never won it. When you consider he's won the FA Cup 6 times, it's an extraordinary gap. And it's not like they haven't taken it seriously throughout the years. Arsenal, they had that final defeat. They had 4 semi-final appearances as well.
I just wonder how serious, really how serious he is, Arsene Wenger, at winning this competition. Got bigger fish to fry with the Premier League and the Champions League, of course, this season.
Doing well to get above Mertesacker.
Well, the problem for Lucas Shaw is going to get isolated, playing as a lone striker. Very important the Wednesday midfielders take a chance and get up there and support him. He is big and strong, he can hold it up, but he needs help.
He usually gets help from little Fernando Forestieri on loan from Watford, who's ineligible to play here tonight.
Yeah, it will be about Kieran Lee and Barry Bannon trying to get up there as well. But you're doing a lot of defensive work against Arsenal, chasing the ball, so at times you just hold your ground rather than close it up and get close to your striker.
Here's Theo Walcott driving at the heart of the Wednesday defence. They creak, but they survive that particular examination. Wallace, Cabana. Gibbs got in there ahead of Hunt. Now Alex Iwobi. Cut out by Hutchinson, Arsenal corner.
Nice brilliant play from Kieran Gibbs. He reads the crossfield pass and lays it infield, and then he's on his bike, as all good attacking fullbacks should do these days. Jack Hunt is caught up the field, and then suddenly Kieran Gibbs turns from left back into left winger.
Theo Walcott will take. Comfortably dealt with. Slightly heavy touch from Gibbs. Bannon can get involved. Well, the last time these two sides met in this competition, November 1995, still a year before Arsene Wenger took over as manager. David Pleat was manager here at Sheffield Wednesday. Surely lightning's not striking twice here for Arsenal. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain off with a hamstring problem, and now Theo Walcott requires treatment. He's only just played quarter of an hour.
Well, did he just say to the physio it's his calf? This is turning into a nightmare 15 minutes for Arsene Wenger.
Well, no matter how seriously Arsene Wenger takes it, or is perceived to be taking this competition and has done over the years, the one thing he won't want to do, with several players already missing through injury from his first team squad, is to pick up a succession here. To get out unscathed, very high on the list of a Premier League manager when they come to a lower league club to take on an awkward cup tie, despite the status of Sheffield Wednesday. And you look around at the stadium tonight and how it's full, and can't help but think back to the glory days when they were in the Premier League, winning this competition back in 1991. Colin Lewin, the Arsenal physiotherapist, talking there with Theo Walcott, and Arsene Wenger close contact as well.
Well, the problem is the type of player Theo Walcott is, with his pace, that if you do get a tweak in the calf or a hamstring, it's a major problem, because that is what his game is all about. Is turning, spinning in behind defenders, using that pace. If you have a problem, well, it's risky to keep him out there.
Well, there's also the risk of it deteriorating if he does try and play through it.
Yeah, if it's a kick, it's one thing. An impact injury, you can run them off, but if you pull the muscle, it's only going to get worse the longer you stay out there.
Theo Walcott has looked across to the bench. He's far from happy. Drow makes the run. Well, Theo Walcott would have taken part in the pre-match warm-up, but then he was sat down on the bench and came on very quickly, didn't he? He hadn't had any sort of warm-up before coming on, immediately before coming on.
Well, Theo Walcott's not even walking properly, let alone running. He's clearly got a problem. You can't leave him out there.
So Arsene Wenger, who named the 3 teenage players called up from the youth ranks on the bench, presumably just to get a taste of first team action on a night like this. Well, it's going to be more than that for Ismail Beneka, young French attacking player. The third Arsenal debut handed out tonight. By the way, that's player number 200, 201 and 202 who have been given their Arsenal debuts by Arsene Wenger during his 20-odd years in charge.
Of course, the problem that Arsenal have, and Arsene Wenger has, the longer the game goes on, if we do go into extra time, of course it limits the substitutions that you can make. And if you're chasing a game, you want to maybe send attackers on, you simply won't be able to do that because you've been forced into early changes through injury.
disrupted start to this match for Arsenal, losing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Theo Walcott inside the first 20 minutes.
It's a great opportunity for these talented Arsenal youngsters, but it's so important. Petr Cech, Mertesacker, Mathieu Flamini as well, that they have the experienced heads in that side. They just tell those young players just to get a touch on the ball and take it nice and easy for the first 5-10 minutes.
This is Campbell. Kamara. Yanaka. Campbell. Well, let's get the latest on that injury to Theo Walcott. We can join David Craig again.
Bill, well, it was quite interesting. When Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was being treated, Theo Walcott was stripping off and he went to warm up, and Arsene Wenger immediately called him back before he'd even begun that warm-up. And Walcott looked a little bemused by that. He was sent straight on, and it would appear that perhaps he just wasn't quite warmed up enough. So Ismail Benacer gets his debut.
Thanks, David. Joe Wildsmith, who only made his first team debut for Sheffield Wednesday this season, clears away. As much as this makes life awkward for the Londoners here in the Steel City, it would appear to create a wonderful opportunity for Sheffield Wednesday to really get their teeth into this mixed Arsenal side now in terms of experience and increasing youth out there.
I think the Wednesday fans, they appreciate their opportunities of winning the game. Have just stepped up with Oxlade-Chamberlain first going off, now Walcott. So the Wednesday fans were cheering when the substitutions were made. We don't want to see that, but you can understand why. They want two of Arsenal's best players to leave the field.
Zhao trying to take it away from Kamara. Here comes Wallace. Made amends well there, Glenn Kamara. Who, for the record, is the first Finnish player to play for the Gunners. Here he is on the ball again. Iwobi. Gibbs. Benacer. Flamini. Giroud. Luvens.
Sheffield Wednesday, when they have the ball at the back, they're being brave here. They're doing what Barcelona do. The two fullbacks are pushing on into wide areas. The holding midfielder, Hutchinson's just dropping back in between the centre halves, and they're really trying to play out in a really continental way.
Hunt dispossessed. Lees.
With Oxlade-Chamberlain going off, Walcott as well. They've lost a bit of firepower at Arsenal, but whatever side Arsene Wenger puts out, they're more than capable of dominating the ball. Eventually, with that amount of possession, regardless of who's playing, I feel a good opportunity will come along.
Iwobi, Gibbs, Flamini, Kamara. Campbell has Poodle in pursuit. Shakes him off, the Costa Rican international. It's a little bit too much to the cross.
Well, it's just a question when you manage to shake off your marker, shake off Poodle, the fullback here. It's just about taking a breath and providing real quality. Normally we'd see that from an Arsenal player. Never really looks up, just puts his foot through the ball, goes for pace, and he's way off the mark.
coat time for Arsene Wenger.
I don't think Steve Ball was going to help him on with that coat, was he?
To say, for a late October night in Yorkshire, it's comparatively mild. Wildsmith. Helped on by Lubens. And Poodle scored a painful one from Campbell.
As I mentioned before, it's going to be competitive. Ball breaks off Daniel Poodle. Gets a crack for his shoulder. I think it's anything too serious.
Gibbs. Back to Mertesacker. Available again after he missed the win against Everton at the weekend through illness.
Wednesday really do have a chance on the counter-attack as Arsenal are getting lots of bodies over the halfway line. They're leaving Mertesacker and Chambers in possession. Normally they do keep the ball well, the two centre-halves, but if Wednesday can win it back early and break quickly, there is an opportunity to give those two centre-halves a real problem.
Hutchinson. Hunt. Clip from Wallace. Chase back from Mertesacker. Energetic run from Lee, all in vain. Flamini and acres of space here. They'll look for Giroud, only find Tom Lees.
Some of the forward passing, certainly up to the strikers, hasn't been up to the mark tonight. Bit of hit and hope. The centre forward has really got heavily involved in the game so far.
Poodle, Zhao waits in the middle. Wallace wants the cut back, gets it! Ross Wallace sweeps Sheffield Wednesday into a sweet lead against Arsenal. They've lost two players through injury, and now they've lost a goal. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Arsenal 0.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday are flying in the Championship, but this is a goal of Premier League quality. The movement off the ball from Daniel Poodle, outstanding. A third man run, the way of the pass from Bannon is superb, and the intelligence of this cross, he absolutely picks out Ross Wallace here. And how about this for a pass into the bottom corner? It is a brilliant goal, no panic. Wednesday are flying, they're scoring plenty of goals in the Championship, winning games, and this is why. Quite brilliant football.
Pedacek rooted to the spot. Ross Wallace with his second Sheffield Wednesday goal of the season. The sleeping giant has just woken up.
That just really shows what Wednesday are capable of. They've hardly had a lot of possession in the Arsenal half. They've hardly been able to keep it for 3 or 4 passes, but when they do, they have real quality individuals who can make a difference. Superb goal.
That, by the way, was the first effort on target by either side. Goodness me, did it bear fruit for Ross Wallace, for Carlos Carvajal, and for Sheffield Wednesday. Iwobi, Gibbs. Gibbs trying to make the run in behind, but Smith is there. Sure, Carlos Carvajal will be quite keen for his players just to calm it down a little bit. The atmosphere in here inside Hillsborough now is giddy. Iwobi. Challenge from Hutchinson. The referee didn't like that one.
I think he could have a problem here, Sam Hutchison. He seems to win the ball and then possibly follow through on the young midfielder.
Well, it's going to be a free kick. How much more punishment does the referee, Graham Scott, feel he needs to dish out? Yellow card number 9 for the season for Sam Hutchinson. This is his 13th game.
Well, to me, that is reckless and it's dangerous. I think Sam Hutchinson knows exactly what he's doing here. He wins the ball, and to me, that's a red card. He follows through with his right foot to catch his opponent, and I feel he should be sent off for that.
Setting his sights here. Hasn't had anything to do yet, really, Joe Wildsmith. That could change any moment now. Hits it into the Sheffield Wednesday wall. Loops it up. For a moment it looked like it might be awkward, but it ended up being far from that.
Well, the referee Graham Scott clearly believes that this is just a follow-through, an accidental follow-through from Sam Hutchison that catches Kamara, but trust me, it isn't. He's made enough poor challenges and been tackled enough to know that Hutchison has left something on the midfielder here. He can't defend himself, Kamara, so really, it's got to be better than that.
Now was he fouled as he went to strike the ball? He was just outside the penalty area.
Well, everything is happening now. The game is getting really stretched. The challenges are flying in. It's Flamini who comes in with the final challenge. It's not the heaviest you've ever seen, just trying to pinch it, but he's at the back as well. It is a foul.
Well, Ross Wallace got the opening goal. These sort of situations are a real speciality for him.
Well, this is pretty much the perfect range. Of course, he's got a top goalkeeper in Petr Cech to beat. If he could choose a position to take a free kick from, I think this would be pretty much ideal.
Licking his lips there, Ross Wallace. That was close. That was close.
Well, it looked like Petr Cech had actually read this. He's hoping really that Cech's going to move to his right and try and fizz it into that top corner, but that is very, very close. But Cech must have known he was going wide. He didn't even dive for it.
That have felt like this at Hillsborough over the last couple of decades. It's in fine voice now as Campbell looks for Iwobi. Kamara, Iwobi. Two of Arsenal's 3 debutants on the night combining. An old head, Mertesacker. This is Kieran Lee. And announced his arrival on the scene as a Manchester United player when he scored a winning goal for them at Crewe many moons ago now. Strong but fair challenge by Campbell in the mind of the referee. Sheffield Wednesday still have a man down. Arsenal play on through Benica. There's an edge to this one. Thomas Carvalho wants the ball rolled out of play, and Kieran Gibbs obliges. Daniel Poodle can get some treatment.
Well, there didn't seem to be anything wrong with the challenge from Campbell. What you have to do as a wide midfielder at times, just track back and slide in and win the ball off a full-back. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just catches Pudil. Can't do anything about that, just catches him with his trailing leg, and let's hope he's able to get up and carry on.
Well, This break in play gives us a chance to mark your card ahead of Super Sunday, up and coming on Sky Sports. Everton against Sunderland, that's from 12:30 Sky Sports 1. And the second part of the double-header comes from the South Coast. Bournemouth travel to Southampton from 3:30, also Sky Sports 1. Don't have to cast their memories back too far from the last time they were in this part of the world to take on opposition from a lower league. Part of that wonderful adventure all the way to the Capital One Cup final by Bradford City. They were victims. Thomas Vermaelen missing the penalty. Saw them crash out. Bradford take the next step to Wembley. Flamini. Given away by Matthew Flamini. A communication breakdown with Campbell, who tries to get back at Poodle. Does so. Good tackle.
It was a good challenge, but Jeremy Allan was flying up on the outside of Daniel Poodle. Just needed to open his body up, play it wide rather than go in field there.
In the middle to see if he can be fed by Wobie.
Well, Jack Hunt is very fortunate on 2 counts here. Gets caught ball watching. It's caught underneath the ball and then he turns his back on Iwobi. As a fullback, you simply can't do that. You've got to adjust your body, dance right and left. You turn your back, you've no idea where your opponent is. It's good play from Iwobi. Has to be isolated up against Jack Hunt, but as an experienced defender, you've got to be doing better than that.
I suppose there was an element of calculated risk about the fact that the likes of Mesut Ozil, Santi Cazorla, Alexis Sanchez all left back in London as Arsenal travel up to Yorkshire for this one. Couldn't have foretold losing 2 players to injury inside the first 20 minutes. João, Mertesacker. João playing today, despite losing a tooth last time out. Took a right old battering as he scored a goal in the win against Rotherham on Friday night for Sheffield Wednesday. Banner, João. 4 players around him to crowd him out and pickpocket him. Iwobi. Trying to find Campbell. That's a lovely touch from João. Here comes Allan. Alone at the moment, but Lee might join him in support. Or Allan might not need him. Here's Allan! Czech kicks it down to 1.
I did say this is a problem Arsenal could have. They get so many bodies over the halfway line. On the counter-attack with Wednesday's pace with either João or Allan, they can burst back at them. And suddenly they're caught short at the back. Defensively, Arsenal. Maybe that's a save that Czech should make.
Wednesday mass on the edge of the penalty area at the moment. Barry Bannon back here to Wallace. Had a decent angle on the ball. Oh, and they've got another one. Look at special scenes at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Arsenal 0. A brilliant header from Lucas Shaw.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday showing real quality here. I'm not a big fan of the short corner. If you do play it short, then you rely on real quality. And Ross Wallace has scored one. Now he's made one. Brilliant ball in. Petr doesn't even move, but defensively, Arsenal, you've got to get off the ground. You've got to challenge Lucas Shaw. He's a big man. He's in between defenders. That is far too easy, but it's a brilliantly timed header. He's up and over it. Can keep it down. Wednesday 2-0. They're in dreamland here.
Five minutes to go on the first half. Sheffield Wednesday will be pinching themselves.
As soon as that ball goes back to Ross Wallace, you'd expect players like Mertesacker and Cech to be saying, look, we need to be touch tight here, shoulder to shoulder with who we're picking up. If we're not, we're going to get punished. And it's really sloppy defensively from Arsenal. They paid a really heavy price, and Wednesday have a cushion now. Wednesday are playing it really cleverly in midfield as well. They're getting numbers back in there. They're allowing Arsenal to try and play through those congested areas, and time and again, either Hutchinson or Bannon, they're just picking up possession.
Campbell made the run, but had drifted offside by the time the ball was played to him.
Oh, when it is so congested, Arsenal have to change the point of attack, and there's really players running in behind. But once again, it's a disciplined back line. No one has dropped too deep. Pudil knows that Campbell's running behind him, but he's running offside, so let him go.
Stay on face from Arsene Wenger. Understandably so. Giroud. Kamara.
Well, it just shows what can happen if you believe in yourselves and you're full of confidence, because Sheffield Wednesday at times have been chasing shadows as Arsenal pop the ball around, but they backed themselves when they got into key areas. They've made it count, so they've been patient. They've had to work hard to get the ball back, but boy, have they made it pay when they've got it.
What's surprising is the fact that, despite, as we've touched on already several times, the mixed nature of this Arsenal side, got still experience and quality out there. They haven't laid a glove on Sheffield Wednesday yet in terms of efforts on the Wednesday goal. Jack Hunt can gallop forward here. Maybe try to have a nibble, but this is excellent work from Hunt. Gives him the end crowding him up. Roby can carry out. Campbell's underneath this, controlled it pretty tidily. Well, never in his career, Lucas Shaw, and he's 22 now, no matter where he's played his football, has he been on the losing side when he's scored. Wednesday will hope that continues. Although in this competition, of course, Arsenal have previous for upsetting a stat like that. Charlie Nicholas in 1987, Ian Rush scoring for Liverpool. And that, on what was his final game before leaving for Juventus, it's the first time he'd scored for Liverpool, and they hadn't won. And they'd lost, rather.
Sheffield Wednesday here don't really want the half-time break to come. They're dominating the game. 2 goals to the good. They're really enjoying themselves. You know what a half-time break can do to teams? It can turn a game on its head.
Mertesacker.
Look how hard Sheffield Wednesday are working here. Lucas João, the goal scorer, chasing down and making life hard for Callum Chambers. It's been an excellent first half on Wednesday. They've contained Arsenal. OK, they've had it in non-dangerous areas. Olivier Giroud has hardly touched the ball, and that would be a worry for Arsene Wenger.
4 minutes, additional time, 4 minutes.
Gibbs. Strong challenge, but a fair one in the mind of Graham Scott. Something involved again. Flamini. Bannon with the block. Debuchy. Full-back to full-back. This is Gibbs now for Arsenal. Knocked away by Lees. Out on by Lee.
Well, the Sheffield Wednesday goals have been sensational, but I've been so impressed the way that Carlos Carvajal has set his team up here. They've defended tenaciously, they've been well organised, and they broke forward, they've had real belief. The quality of their goals, outstanding.
He was fouled, but play goes on. Chambers. So important for Sheffield Wednesday, hopes that they can keep this 2-goal cushion until half-time. A psychological staging post for them. Chambers, Campbell with the angled run. Debuchy. Chambers. Giroud. Richardson there patrolling in front of the back four. Marshall. Giroud. Started to drift and roam to try and get involved in the game.
I'm not so sure about this one. I think Kieran Lee steps in, he pinches the ball, and Giroud just tries to make it look as though he's been muscled off the ball. Complete mismatch physically. That's not a foul.
It's a yellow card as well for Kieran Lee. Was it Ross Wallace who was carded for what he had to say? Presumably agreeing with your opinion on that one, Andy.
This is where you've got to use your experience and just try and keep your mouth shut. It is very, very hard, but I can understand why Ross Wallace is really annoyed by that decision.
A glance on and relatively routine for 19-year-old Joe Wildsmith. This could not be going much better for Sheffield Wednesday than it is now. 2-0 up over Arsenal at half-time. Ross Wallace at the very heart of Sheffield Wednesday, attacking prowess. He scored the first, a delightful move. He set up the second with a glorious cross for Lucas João. And Arsenal, the injury of being 2-0 down, and the insult also added to by losing both Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Theo Walcott.